Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. Lara Ryan from Complete Test Success here, and today we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 2. So, excuse me if you can hear the noise. My neighbour's working on something. So, what we do today is I will share a link with you, and you can come and join me live here. I will show you a Part 2 cue card, give you your 1 minute to make notes, and then of course I will give you some feedback. So that's basically what we're doing today. The idea then is that you can get a bit more insight into what the examiner is looking for, what kind of things the examiner considers as problematic, how to improve on your issues, and just give you a little bit more idea of how Part 2 of the test works. Of course, if you have any questions, you'll be free to ask in the comments as well. Rasif, hello to you. Hi, Jawad. Welcome to the lesson. Okay, so let me share this link I have here. So this is... if you want to join me live, do a practice Part 2 with me and get some feedback, click on this link and you'll be able to join me in here. And then we will do practice Part 2 together. Hi, Hardeep. Hi, Jawad. Good, thank you. The clocks have changed in Ireland, so even though my live streams are technically at the same time, it's an hour later for me. So I feel a bit more awake than I was during the winter. Hi, Nikhil. Hi to you. Welcome. Hi, Selen. Hi, Nishani. Okay. So, like I said, besides those of you who are joining me and doing some practice together, if any of you have other questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. Nishani Funcho, welcome. Good to see you here. Okay, so like I said, just take a look in the comments. It's the fourth, maybe the second comment in today's video, and you'll see the link to join me live. Okay. And Chioma is with me here, but of course you'll need to turn on your camera if you want to participate. Nishani, I got 6.5 for speaking for your feedback. Awesome. You got is that your real IELTS test, Nishani? Is that the real score that you got? And is that the score you need? And either way, you're welcome. Whatever the situation, you're very welcome. But is this your real IELTS test? Was that your required score? And Chioma, who's with me, if you want to join, just turn on your camera and we can get started. And of course, I also have my free live feedback lessons, as well as these live streams. I have live feedback lessons on Zoom every week. So this link here is what you can use to sign up for those free lessons on Zoom. And much like the live streams, we cover one part of the test every week, but we also cover reading and listening in the Zoom lessons because discussing reading and listening in a live stream is quite challenging. But in Zoom, it's one-to-one. If I don't understand the question, we can kind of go back and forth a bit more easily. What if I don't know a word in Part 2? In that case, what should I do? You can ask the examiner. So if you're in the part, if you get a cue card and you don't know a word, you just say to the examiner, what does this word mean? You can ask for the meaning of the word. You can't ask them to explain the topic. So you can't say, what does this topic mean? Or what does this sentence mean? You can't, but you can ask for the meaning of the phrase. So like, let's say, for example, the question said, describe a house or an apartment you would like to live in. And then you would say, what does an apartment mean? So if you don't understand the word apartment, you just ask for that, and that's no problem. Hi, Nabu. Hi, Tang. Okay, so I have a student with me here, H. Tenzin. Let's get you in here. Hello there.
Hello, hi sir.
Nice to meet you.
Same to you.
What's your name?
My good name is Purbatenzi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bhutan.
From Bhutan. And what IELTS speaking score do you need?
Well, I'm aiming for 6.5.
Okay. And you'll have 1 minute to make notes. So do you have paper and pen ready to make notes for this question?
I think let me I don't have pen, but I'll manage it. Please give me a moment.
You have to write on your hand. Okay. So let me share the topic. So you'll have 1 minute to make notes, and you'll need to speak for 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So I would like you to describe a journey that you make regularly. Okay, you can start speaking now, please.
Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the journey that I regularly make. Sorry. So well,
Go ahead.
so it's kind of nervous.
Yeah. So can you tell me about where you are going?
Most of the time I make a journey to go to my workplace. Well, it begins from the morning. I wake up at around 8 a.m. and I get myself fresh up, and I usually have tea and snacks for breakfast. And to reach my workplace, I use motorcycle as a mode of transport. Well, it takes around half an hour to reach there, and after reaching there, well, it has become a routine for me since this is my job, so I have to travel all the time, except in Sundays. And sometimes I feel.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay. So you found it difficult to get started. So what did you find challenging about that question? What was the What was problematic?
Actually, I was kind of nervous. I didn't know how to start.
Mm-hmm. So what you want to do is always start by just choosing one topic and saying what the topic is. So had you decided what journey you would discuss?
I think
During-
right now I didn't choose a good topic. I guess I didn't find
That's
good
no problem.
topic.
So that's always going to have to be the first topic, is decide which journey. Did you understand the question? Did you know what a journey? Do you know what a journey is?
Yes, Sir John.
So if you didn't understand the question, like we were saying with Asif earlier on, you can ask me. So if you didn't understand what the word journey means, you can just say, what does journey mean? So, feel free to ask the examiner to clarify the meaning if you're not sure. So that might be the first step for you. After that, then of course, you have to decide what journey you're going to talk about. So what happens a lot to students is they'll start thinking about the prompts. So, like the prompts here, they say where you go, how you travel, why you make this journey, say how you feel about the journey. So the prompts under what you should say. But there's no point looking at that until you've decided which journey you're going to discuss. So discussing the journey, deciding on the journey you will discuss has to be the first option. And even if you spend the full first 1 minute trying to decide which journey you will discuss, that's what you should do. You cannot think about the smaller details until you've decided on the topic. So spend more time deciding on the topic, and then once you've made that decision, then you will know what to say next. So was your problem that you couldn't think of any journeys, or was your
I
problem
don't think
that
I just had this particular journey.
well, that journey is
that I
perfect?
always-
Just your journey to work is perfect. That's exactly
Yes.
like your
Yes.
topic was relevant. But for you, the 1 minute to make notes is where you can improve your answer. Make sure to choose a topic. Make sure that you develop it fully from the start of your answer. And, just include more small details about what happens, how you feel about it. So try and more tell a story. Try to tell the story about your daily journey to work like that.
Later, after a moment, I just came up with the idea. So I started with the morning journey.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's absolutely perfect. That's all you need. Okay, that's great. Thanks very much. So work
Thank
on
you,
that.
sir.
You can do some practice on that by yourself, and that should help you to improve your fluency, which is definitely the main thing you need to work on at the moment.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, sir.
Thanks a million. Take care of yourself. See you again.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I have a few more comments here. Let's take a look at them first. Simran. Hello, sir. Please tell me how to improve our reading skill in a timer and Cambridge book or Kiran Makar books. It's great to do practice. I'm totally confused because everyone told me that you should do hard. I'm not sure what you mean by you should do hard, but when you're practicing, don't time yourself in the beginning. So let's say at the moment you're getting a band 6 in your reading tests, but you need a band 7. So don't worry about doing the tests in 60 minutes. For now, focus on getting the score you need. So do a test, figure out what you're doing wrong, work on improving on those issues, work on avoiding repeating those mistakes. And then once you can get the score you need, you just have to start working out where you're losing time. So try to get your scores up first. And also I'd recommend only using Cambridge books. Is it okay if I write 3 body paragraphs for this essay? 2 for the differences, 1 is for how it is good. That doesn't look like a real IELTS question. I think that's the problem. No, I think you found that somewhere, an unreliable source of IELTS questions. That doesn't look like an IELTS question. And that's probably why you're confused. Hi, Maribel. Good to see you here. Hi, Ravinder. Can I join without a camera? No, you'll need to have a camera on. My best ever teacher. Thank you. Okay. Nishani, sir, yes, 6.5, your desired score. Fantastic. Excellent. It was very friendly. Thank to her also. Brilliant. That's great. Great news. Well done, Nishani. Delighted to hear that. Aramalia, you're very, very welcome. Nabu, sir, I want to connect with you live. Yep. So you'll find the link there at the start. So just scroll up to the first comments on today's video and you'll see the link to join. Okay. Ra Asif, you ready to get in here? Hello there.
Hello, sir.
How are you today?
Yes, sir. I'm fine. How about you?
Very good. Very good. Can you tell me again, what speaking score are you aiming for?
I'm aiming for 6.5 or above.
Okay. And you've pen and paper for making notes?
Yes, sir. I'm all set.
Lovely. Let's jump into it. So, I would like you to describe a sports event that you enjoyed watching. Okay, you can start speaking now, please.
Well, the sports event I enjoyed most, that was in the last year 2022 FIFA World Cup. And that time I had my semester final exam. Though I have semester final exam, but I haven't missed any football match because I'm a diehard fan of Argentina and I love Argentinian football team. So that's why I didn't missed any match. First of all, my heart was broken because Argentina lost the first match from Saudi Arabia. So it was very upsetting. And after that, Argentina won every matches and they qualified, and eventually they actually won the World Cup. And that's really remarkable moment for me because from my childhood I was following Argentina team and expecting they will own a World Cup. And we also thinking that this time the Argentinian superstar Messi's last World Cup. So we are expecting a lot from him. That's why me and my friends, we didn't miss any match, and we watched the match in our room with some of my parents gathered together and enjoying the match with popcorn. And when the team scored, we actually were enjoying, we're celebrating that moment, and we also shoot some videos. And I actually like that match, and I actually enjoyed that match because of as I mentioned, I'm a diehard fan of Argentinian team. That's why I really enjoyed this match with my friends. And actually it was remind me forever because that time I had a tough situation, as I mentioned that that time I have my semester final exam. So it's a critical moment for me that.
Thank you. Okay, so Ra, for you, your main issue is pronunciation. At the moment, with your pronunciation, the main thing is you're stressing too many words in each sentence. And what that means is the listener has to focus more carefully to find the important words. Whereas when you have the correct sentence stress, the correct sentence stress shows the listener which the important words are, which are the important words. So that's the main thing, is to improve your sentence stress. You also have a thing where you pronounce the F sound as a P sound. So for example, in the word first, where your lip goes under your teeth, you're making a P sound. You're doing this instead of. So when you need to make the F sound, you're putting your lips together instead of your lip under your teeth, like that. So that would be a specific sound for you to work on. But the way you're stressing too many words, that would be the most important thing to focus on. There's one word you pronounced incorrectly. It's the word won, W-O-N. They won the World Cup, where you're saying own instead of won. So that's the only word that you pronounced incorrectly. Besides that, your pronunciation of individual words is actually very clear. Your fluency is good. You've got a nice range of vocab. The other area after pronunciation would be your grammar, in that the tense of the verb, you tend to have those wrong. So sometimes you're using the wrong form, so you're not forming the tense correctly, and sometimes you're using the incorrect tense. But the good news is that most of your mistakes are with that small part of grammar. So when you go about fixing your grammar, you don't have a lot of different things to fix. You'll be able to focus on a small area of grammar and improve your accuracy a lot. So do you have any questions for me, or is there anything you want to talk about at the moment?
Sir, which word I should stress more?
Well, it's about sentence stress depends on the content, but in each clause, there will be 2 words stressed. Generally, there will be 2 words in each clause stressed, but you're stressing like maybe every second or every third word. So it's, they say it's the content words, but it just depends. So what you would want to do is you would want to start mimicking the way native English speakers stress. So try and listen to a video, like try and listen to 1 or 2 sentences of any English speaker and try to copy the words that they're stressing and kind of get a feel for the way that sentence stress works. So it's not any specific words. It depends on what information you're communicating, and that determines what words to stress. Okay, thanks very much, Ra. Talk to you again.
Thank you, sir.
Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Okay, so Mamadou, give me 1 minute. I'm just going to look at some other comments here first. Chung Drag, after speaking, can you give the score? It takes more time than that. The reason that the speaking test is 15 minutes is it takes that much time to figure out, what band for each fluency, vocab, grammar, pronunciation, and then kind of make sure you're right, and to get enough of an example of the person speaking so that you can really identify, how often vocab mistakes are being made, what type of vocab mistakes. Same with grammar, like the frequency and the severity. So it takes more time. It takes more time than that. Facebook, can I join you live? Absolutely. Yeah, just click on the link. Would it influence my score somehow if I have a natural monotone voice? Yeah, if you have no intonation, that will stop you getting a higher score. So if you're speaking like this all of the time, you have no intonation, that's a problem. Like, part of your pronunciation score is your intonation. So if you're completely monotone, that's not going to help. Simran, I mean to say that everyone told me that you should practice difficult books in reading to crack the exam. And my second question is, how do I practice task 2? So difficult books, if you're using Cambridge IELTS books, the difficulty will be pretty similar, except if there are topics that you're not good at or topics that you're good at, depending on your vocab, that can make some of them easier for you. And how do you practice task 2? You practice by writing essays, planning essays and writing them. You want to get some feedback. Like with the students on my course, they send me their writing. I'll show them what their mistakes are, and then they'll go and fix those mistakes. So getting feedback is an important part of improving your scores, because you'll make mistakes, but you don't know you're making them, or you'll be doing something wrong, but you think it's correct. So finding out those things that you're not aware of, that's really important as well. Hello, how can I fix grammar? Same, you just have to choose one grammar mistake and work on it. That's all you can really do. Sir, fill my Gmail well, but can't execute further to connect. So how may I? I'm not sure what you mean there, Nabu. If you're looking to contact me by email, that's my email address there, lara@completetestsuccess.com. How can you say what is the topic of the lesson? If you're asking, today's lesson was speaking part 2. Joanna, hello, I'm here for the first time. I would love to have some feedback about my performance. Yep, no problem. I see you in the software here as well. So we'll get back to you in a little bit. Mohamedul, let's get you in here.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Long time no see. How
Yeah,
are you?
yeah, I'm doing great, thanks.
Good to hear. Can you remind me what score you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm aiming for 7, but it is the hardest part for me, like speaking part 2. I really struggle with this part.
What happens to a lot of students, they try to follow the prompts. Like someone with your level of fluency, sometimes the prompts can make it more challenging, because when you're looking at the prompts, they're kind of guiding you towards say this, now say this, now say this, now say this, and then at the end you're like, what next? And you can't think of what to say next. So for some students, it's easier if you just ignore the prompts and just look at the topic, and then just try to tell me a story about the topic. So it depends on the student. Some students, they feel more comfortable following those prompts closely. Some students ignoring the prompts and just allowing themselves the freedom to talk about whatever they want to say about the topic makes it a bit easier. So, you can try it both ways, but that's very often what's challenging, because it's not that you
Yeah,
can't speak. You can speak. The problem isn't you can't speak. But
idea. Yeah,
yeah, so even try it now, or do whatever you feel most comfortable. Maybe you're not comfortable trying it now, you want to try it yourself later, but ignoring
yeah.
the prompts can be very helpful for some students.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so let's jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like you to describe an advert you once saw that was very effective.
Oh, right.
Okay, you can start speaking now, please.
To be very honest, nowadays I do not watch that much advertise, but one advertise that I can tell about you, which was made by Grameen Phone, which is a corporate company in our country. They are providing our telephone services. So that ad was between a dad and a daughter. So basically the ad was about the dad was working at the office. He was in a meeting, and the daughter called him. So but the bad that was really busy. He couldn't pick her pick her phone. See, he was continuously calling her, but the daughter was continuously calling her dad. So after a moment, he picked up the phone, the dad, and he was like, how are you? And I forgot the exact word what he was saying, but it was really emotional between his dad and her dad, and and her. So that remind me between the relationship of mine and me and my father, because when I was a kid, my dad used to be in work in the Saudi Arabia, which he used to, back in those days, telephone was not that much available, but my dad used to write letters to me. So I always try to record some poems in a tape recorder. Back in that days, we have tape recorders in Bangladesh. So I taped some of my memorized poem, and I sent those things to him. And it was just a reminder. That advertise was such a reminder that the bond between me and my dad, it's the same thing portrayed in that ad. So I think advertisers, these kinds of emotions in advertisement should be encouraged, so that advertising not only have to happen with the products. Sometimes you can portray messages
Thank you.
through advertisements. The topic was okay.
So how did you feel about that now compared to, you were saying that you struggle with those types of questions? Did that feel, was that
Yeah,
a
I think
struggle for you?
I struggled, yeah, because but to be very honest, the advertisements, like I couldn't find any particular advertisement in my head that
Yeah.
was it really inspired me, you know what I mean? So it's I
Sure.
just made it up. Yeah.
That's more challenging. If you talk about something, if you're
Yeah.
inventing a story, that's much more challenging than just
Yeah.
talking about something you remember.
Yeah.
So I do hear teachers advising their students a lot, if you can't think of something, just make it up. But in my mind, now you're doing two things. Firstly, you're communicating in English, which you have to do, but also you're trying to invent a story. So like that's more stuff
Yeah.
happening in your head. So if you can find um, something real, so you're just remembering an experience, that's going to be much easier for you.
Yeah,
You know,
that's why I struggle with this part, because the other parts of IELTS question, for example part 1 or part 3, if I do not know about something, then I can explain I do not know this, but these are the things I know. But here you have to talk about the topic. Like I can't say that I do not like any advertisements, and I can't shift. Like I like to read books, I cannot shift to books because I have to
sure.
be on topic, right? This is the problem
Oh, you have
of
to be on
this.
topic, absolutely. But the thing is, like, it has to be an advertisement anytime that was effective. So, anytime you bought something because of an advertisement, it could even be when you were a kid, it could be a long time ago, or it could just be, like that steady advertisement from, big brands like Coca-Cola, where, you know, you don't really think about it, but it's always there. It's always everywhere, and it kind of makes you familiar with the brand. So
Mhm.
it's about just finding something, and it could have been a billboard, it could have been, a public awareness campaign, it could have been anything, but just one time, even as a child, where you wanted to buy some sweets because of an advertisement or anything. But you're definitely going to make your life easier if you can find a real experience. That's going to
Yeah.
be a lot easier than inventing something, because you're putting
Yeah.
yourself under
Thank
more pressure.
True. Thank you.
And it affects your fluency as well,
Yeah,
because
because
a lot
I'm
more.
thinking about
Yeah,
the story at the same time I'm speaking. So yeah.
yeah, it's a much bigger challenge. The other
Yeah.
thing then would be with your grammar, um,
Yeah.
grammar structures. Like, telephone was that not that much available. Telephones weren't available, so was not that much. So you're adding in like all these extra words. It was actually the
Mhm.
same thing. I do not watch that much advertising, because I do not watch advertising that much. So
Mhm.
grammar structures like that would be another area for you to work on.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and good to see you again. Take care of
Okay.
yourself.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Simran, how to cover all task 2 topics? I don't fully understand that question. If you want to give me more information. English with Babbly. Hello, sir. I want to know that can I use, and gesture and posture while speaking? Absolutely. Yeah. Just speak as you naturally would. So for some students, not students, but for some people, when they're talking, they use their hands a lot. So if you naturally use your hands a lot, I would recommend that's what you do in the test. Some people never use their hands when they're speaking. And if that's what you normally do, I would recommend that's what you do in the test. Do whatever is natural to you. It shouldn't be a performance. Just do whatever you would normally do. Yeah, absolutely. Click on the link. You'll find it at the start of the comments. Okay, Chioma, let's get you in here. Hi, Chioma.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to show you a topic here. Do you have pen and paper for making notes to get ready?
Yeah, I do.
Lovely job. Before we start, can you tell me what score are you aiming for?
Okay, the last time I took the test, I had a 7.5.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind if I get 8.
Sure you wouldn't. What score?
Yeah.
What score do you need?
I need 8, not less than an 8.
You do, so you actually need an 8.
Possible? Yes.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let me
It's
show
my
you the
last
card.
test. Okay.
Okay, Chioma. So I would like you to describe a film you have enjoyed. Okay, you can start speaking now, please.
Okay. A film I actually have enjoyed to watch is called Lionheart. Lionheart is a film I saw sometimes. I saw it like 2 years ago. It was captured on Netflix. It was very interesting. Lionheart was the film that was talked about so much. It was trending on Netflix here in Nigeria. It was trending everywhere. It was the most talked about movie because people actually paid for cinema to watch Lionheart. Lionheart, it was a very good movie because it's so interesting. I actually enjoyed loving watching Lionheart because it talks about how strong and resilient a woman could be, how strong a woman could be in managing her father's company, even being an only child without her father having a son. So it talks about how women could be strong enough to manage and grow the father's company. The characters of this movie were very good. They all played their role very well. They were good, such as people in the like of Genevieve Naji, Pet Edochie. These characters are strong actors over here in Nigeria. When any movie they partake in, people tend to watch it because they always do their best in acting. I've always enjoyed watching Lionheart, and I would want to watch it over and over again because it's something you can watch over time even without getting bored. You can watch it so many times without being bored because at every time you watch it, there's one or two things you get to pick, and there are lessons to be learned. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so what you'd want to do is try to stay going for the full 2 minutes. It was only 2 seconds, so it doesn't matter. But if you can, wait for the examiner to stop you from speaking. So the main reason you're not getting a band 7 is because of your pronunciation. And for Nigerians, it's always about the vowel sounds that you make are different from the vowel sounds that would be originally. So like if we have the word year, Y-E-A-R, the vowel sound is iya, ear, year. No, sorry, ear, ear. So year, ear, ear. But the sound that you're making is E, not ear. So you're saying year instead of year, year. So it's the vowel sounds. The word heart. Now I'm a bad example because I'm Irish, but let's say it's aw, but you're saying r. The word woman, woman, you're saying woman, and. So it's the vowel sounds. The vowel sounds generally at the end, and then any time where the word ends in an or. And in Nigeria, you don't pronounce the ors in the same way that English people don't pronounce the ors. But again, it's the vowel sound that you make. So it should be father, or if it was an English accent, for the but again, you're saying ah, so for that ah. So it's the vowel sounds that you're making incorrect vowel sounds, and that's what's going to stop you from getting a band 8 in pronunciation. So it's like you got the intonation, you got the sentence stress, like all the words are generally clear, but incorrect vowel sounds. The word were, you're saying where, air, that type of thing. So it's generally the vowel sounds in the words are different, and that's what you're going to have to adapt. And it's going to take time. That's not going to be easy to do. It's going to require a lot of focus. It's going to take a lot of effort, but that would be the main thing for you at the moment, is that the way the vowel sounds are pronounced differently in Nigeria, that you're going to have to adapt that. So that would be the main thing.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that, or is there anything you want to talk about?
No, nothing.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you. Talk to you again.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. So let's just look at some more comments here. Can I give negative answers more than once in speaking? Absolutely, yeah. You can say whatever answer you want to say. As long as your answer is relevant, you can say whatever you want. Please, can I ask for change of the question when I have no idea about it? No, you can't ask to change the question. That's not an option. Brar, I thought there's no way to increase speaking score in my second IELTS attempt. I got 5.5. I don't know why this is happening. IDP nowadays, not give score, big business. No. You see, what's happening here is you don't understand why you got a low score. Now, you wanted a higher score and you're frustrated. I understand that. The IELTS examiner isn't giving you a low score. The IELTS examiner isn't trained to give you a low score. The IELTS examiner will give you the score that you deserve. They'll give you the score that they think is the right score for you. If they give you the wrong score, they will lose their job. So the problem at the moment is you don't know what you're doing wrong. You don't know what you're doing wrong. And because of that, you're frustrated. But the thing is, to improve, you're going to have to find out what's the reason for you getting a low score. If you can find out, maybe you're making some grammar mistakes, and once you fix them, you'll get your score. Or, maybe you're pausing and hesitating too often when you're speaking, and once you fix that, you'll get your score. So, finding out what you're doing wrong. I know it's very frustrating, but at the moment, if we try to blame IDP or we try to blame the examiner, then we have no control over the situation. We blame someone else. It's not my fault, it's their fault. And if you start thinking it's their fault and that, the whole system is rigged and the whole system is trying to make you fail, well, then inevitably what happens is you quit. And then that's the end of it. Whereas if you try to figure out, okay, I've done something wrong, or I have some area where I need to improve, and you try to fix it, you will get your score. And I know it's frustrating, and you're probably not very happy to hear this response, because, you're obviously, you're still upset about your score. But that's the reality is, if you can find out what you're doing wrong and you can fix it, you will get your score. And if you can take that approach, you will succeed. But if you're going to blame the examiner or you're going to blame IDP, then the result is you quit. And whatever reason you need the IELTS test for, that you'll never achieve that. So I know it's difficult, but that's the reality. Hey, Judith, very good to see you here. Keeping up the good work. I am. Awesome, you got to the UK. Fantastic, well done. And you're very welcome. Judith got her scores a good while back. I don't remember how long ago, but it was a long time ago. Okay, great. Good to hear from you, Judith. Okay, Joanna, you ready to jump in here? Yeah. Hi, Joanna.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Nice to
Okay.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm delighted to be here, but a little bit anxious.
Yeah, me too. If it makes you feel any better.
A little bit, yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Portugal.
Very good. Not too far from me.
No, not so
And
far.
what score are you aiming for?
7.5 or above.
Okay. Have you done the test before?
No.
Okay.
It will be my first time.
No problem. So I'll show you a cue card and you'll have 1 minute to make notes.
Okay.
Okay. So I would like you to describe a business that you admire. Okay, you can start speaking now, please.
Okay. The business I will talk about is sustainable. It's in the sustainable industry. It's it's an industry about upcycling umbrellas. And I saw it a year ago in an advertisement in Instagram, and it was a small business that is now growing. It's the basic premise of the business is to be more sustainable, economic for the planet. It turns broken umbrellas from every part of Europe, mainly, but it could be worldwide. And it turns broken umbrellas into clothes, jackets, small and large-sized bags. And for that reason, it was very compelling to me to enroll in it and even buy one of their unique jackets, because in this sense, the brand, I would say, that became a business later, it started to appeal to its customers by being unique in its cycled materials. Then later became new and brand new clothes and and other materials. I also liked it very much because of its because of the way it transforms a little bit of something that would be trash, and then upcycling it becomes brand new with brand new items with quality, with colorful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so definitely fluency is the issue at the moment. I feel like nerves is probably part of it. I can hear in your voice you're not very comfortable. So maybe a bit nervous, but as well as that, it's also, thinking about what to say next. So I don't think that really reflects your real ability, but you're going to have to get more comfortable with the process of the part 2. So just first of all, vocab, grammar, pronunciation, all very good. With your fluency, I think I've made a few notes. Sometimes just stopping and taking a breath and kind of resetting and kind of just composing yourself can be good. It's not you have to stay talking at all costs. Sometimes you need a little break to think about what you want to say next. Sometimes you need a break just to kind of gather your thoughts. And also it felt, and I might be wrong, but it felt like you were trying to rush yourself, as in, like maybe you're trying to speak quickly or you're trying to say a lot in a short amount of time. But there's a difference between fluency and speaking quickly. You can speak not slowly. If you speak slowly, that's bad, but you don't have to speak very quickly. So like at the moment, I'm not speaking very quickly, but this would be considered good fluency. So don't rush yourself. Take a break if you need it.
Okay.
And then after that, you can't think about what to say next. You start repeating the same information. So that's more what I mean about the process of part 2, is being able to use your 1 minute to prepare to give yourself enough to talk about for 2 minutes. So in this case, it might have been you could have chosen an easier topic to discuss.
Yes.
It didn't sound like there was that much to say about them anyway. So would another business have been easier? It could have been like, maybe just a local business, a local family business in your hometown might be easier to talk about, if you go there yourself and you kind of have more experience with it. So sometimes choosing what is definitely an interesting topic might not be the easiest topic to discuss. So that's something to consider. Could you have chosen an easier topic? And the other thing then is trying more to tell a story rather than trying to tell me lots of little pieces of information about the business. Could you have told me more your experience? Like you were online one day and this advertisement popped up. Like, where did you hear about them? So you might start with not necessarily so much talking about the business, but talking about your experience with it. So where did you hear about them? Have you ever spoken about them with your friends or your family members? Your experience with, you said you bought a jacket, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe talking about that, maybe how much it costs, how often you wear it, what other people have other people commented on it. Do you like to wear it a lot? Do you tell people the story about where you got it when people ask you about it? That type of thing. So it could be more making it more about you, even though you're discussing the business, but more talking about your experiences. That often makes it easier to think about what to say next.
Okay.
The
you.
other thing, no problem. No problem. But the other thing then is, like, generally when you're speaking, would you normally hesitate as much as you did today, or is that
Yes, I'm a quick speaker, even in Portuguese, and that could be something that I have to work on.
Yeah, but you're not speaking so quickly that I don't understand you. So when you speak very quickly and that causes pronunciation problems, that's a bad thing. But if you naturally speak quickly and I can always understand you, that's not an issue.
Okay.
So it's not that you have to slow down. It was just that if you're forcing yourself to speak quickly, you should stop. But if you naturally speak quickly, that's not a problem.
Okay, but that in English it's a little bit of a problem because I have to think about the content, and while I'm speaking, I'm also thinking about it, and it could sound a little strange, not very native.
Well, it's not that. It would be more about how often you need to pause, how often you need to hesitate, because you're speaking so quickly. Your mouth is faster than your brain.
Yes.
So then your brain needs to catch back up to your mouth. So for that reason, maybe. But you're definitely easy to understand, and everything you said was clear, and there wasn't an issue in that regard. But if slowing down makes it easier for you, then definitely you can go ahead with that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye,
Nice to
Joanna.
meet you. Bye.
See ya. Okay, so we're going to have, I think that's it, really. We're not going to have time for any more. I thought there was another student here, but I think they've disappeared. Mohammed, I'm here. You've lots of vocabulary, but you can't use it. But that's a problem with your fluency. So when you have the vocab, when you're writing, the words come to you, so it's not a problem. But then when you're speaking, you're under time pressure. So that's a fluency problem. That's not a vocabulary problem. If you have the vocab, but you can't think of it, that's fluency. Which one you recommend, IDP or British Council? Either is fine. It doesn't make a difference. The examiners have the same training and the same requirements, and it's really the only difference is the same as going into two different supermarkets. Are they friendlier in one of them? Maybe you'll get some staff that are a bit rude, but it mightn't be because of the company. Just some people are rude. So it's not really about it's not that IDP or British Council, it's not that one of them is better than the other. It would just depend on in your city. Maybe one group of them are friendlier and that might be a nicer experience, but that would be the only difference. The scores will be the same, the tests are the same, everything else is the same. Can I do self-correction or not in speaking? It depends. Like, what you want to do is you want to go for your own strengths. So, if your strength is fluency, then every time you correct, you're bringing down your fluency score. So you should just go with it, make your mistakes. But if your strength is with grammar, then by self-correcting, you're keeping your grammar score high. So it depends what is your specific strength, and go with whatever your strength is. If your grammar is your strength, you should correct it. If your fluency is your strength, then don't correct it. Okay, yep, so that's definitely fluency, Mohammed. How to improve speaking? It depends on what your problems are. If you have a problem with fluency, you need to practice speaking more. If you have a problem with vocab, well, then you need to study vocab, same with grammar. Or if you have pronunciation mistakes, you need to fix the individual mistakes. So, you can't just improve speaking. It's not like you just do one thing and your speaking gets better. It's you're doing something to improve your fluency or your vocab or your grammar or your pronunciation, but you have to choose what thing you're trying to improve. Could you provide me, teacher, the similar meaning word? Teacher, the similar meaning word, admire. A student, we don't discover any words and their meaning. We need similar meaning. You just use the words that you have. Continue studying vocab, and as you improve your vocab, you will naturally learn more synonyms. But while you're in the speaking test or while you're in the writing test, use the words you do have. Use the words you have. Ahmed. Hi, Lara. Really wonderful hearing your feedback. Can I just comment on what you said about the speaking examiners and that we shouldn't blame them for our low scores? What would you say if I knew that someone who asked for his speaking skill to be reassessed 3 separate times, and then each time it increased, twice from 7 to 8 and third from 7 to 8.5? Yeah, it does happen. So what will happen is the examiner will make a mistake sometimes. But I mean, if anything, that shows you how honest Cambridge, IELTS, British Council and IDP are. If they make a mistake, that they will admit the mistake and they will give you the score. They will give you a higher score. So I mean, yes, it's not a great situation where the examiner is not doing their job properly, but you'll get that in every industry in the world. In every industry in the world, you'll get people who are not as good at their jobs as they should be. But the fact that Cambridge allows you to ask for a reassessment, and if you really deserve a higher score, they'll give it to you. I mean, that just shows you that they're not like, as the student said earlier on, that it's just a money-making scheme and all they want is your money. Well, I don't think that they would admit they're making mistakes. I don't think that they would, give you a higher score and give you back your money if that was their objective. So to me, that shows how honest and how reliable they are. I mean, you might look at it differently. I don't know your opinion on it, but that's certainly how I would see it, in that it doesn't look like somebody who's trying to scam you if they're being so honest about their own mistakes. Brar, you're very welcome, and thank you for taking my feedback the way it was intended. Sir, your channel deserves more subscribers. Thank you. Someday, maybe. So you still have online class? Yeah. I have online classes. That's right. Indeed, they are honest, but I guess only senior examiners should assess speaking. Well, what happens is the senior examiners will do the recheck. So if you ask for a remark, so you have like, you know, the base examiners who do all the tests, and then you have the people who train the examiners and check the examiners and make sure that they're all you know, doing their work accurately and removing them if they can't do their work. So when you get your scores rechecked, it's those people at the higher level that check it for you. So that's why again, they're just making sure they're doing everything they can to make sure that the test is as reliable as possible. Okay, guys, so that's all that we have time for today. Thanks for joining me. Sign up for my free live feedback lessons. You'll find the link for that in the video description. So you can join me on Zoom tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. For those of you who have IELTS tests coming up, best of luck. If any of you are looking for one-on-one support, send me an email and I'll see if I think I can help you or not. Okay, thanks very much, everybody, and bye.